Good morning. We are starting a new project this weekend, so we are in basically week 2 here. We're getting a bunch of utility work stuff done before site work and stuff like that. So right now, in preparation for my power company, I'm gonna start this trench. I'm allowing myself 2 weekends, doing a lot of this work on the weekends, not as much as night. It's starting to get dark. I'm giving myself enough time to get this dug out this weekend and then get screening material on site and then get the whole trench screened. And then basically in 2 weeks, the power company's gonna be out to get rid of the high voltage lines. They'll put them down. I gotta dig 42 inches down, 3 inches of top or screening material. They'll put their power lines in, then 12 inches of screening, and the cable company will do their thing. And then I'm gonna add additional conduits for gates and lights, driveway lights. So, just because I've never had a conduit all the way out to the end of the driveway yet. So we're gonna use a string line for now to get our trench dug. I know that I wanna keep the trench fairly parallel, so I'm gonna mess with these measurements a couple times before. I might move the stake left to right. My pad area is gonna be over there for where my transformer is, my ground pad. Right here is where we'll get our stake started. Might have enough string. Look at that, that's freaking perfect. That worked out. 50 feet here. This must be 300 feet of string. Get our string line tight. Same thing, the Mason twist. I don't really know what it's called, but I call it a Mason's twist. All right, so with that, I'm just gonna use the string, get some paint, keep. Next to the pole. These poles are usually down pretty deep. Got about 200 feet yesterday. To be honest, this thing's a little undersized. And I have to kind of go back and get some of the dug down a little bit deeper. Just didn't have the ripper. Actually, the bolts for the ripper, my dad had them. But I was working a little late last night, a little bit here, a little bit there. Got a little time this morning, so I'm gonna get this thing greased up. Got a little bit more dug out. Probably just deeper for now. Got our spoils away. I have to get screenings delivered this week and get this thing screened next weekend, and then they'll be here next week. So finally got some rain, it's been weeks. Got some screening material delivered. And to be honest, my machine is struggling, so that's my buddy. Let me borrow his machine. So get some digging done with this. Bigger machine, but still hitting rock. It's getting down there though. Definitely nice having the reach. Definitely nice setup here. Down to 42 inches. So I've been using this little pin here as my reference because I stuck the bucket down in there when I had it 42. Just saw where it was. It's been a little tougher in certain areas because I got a good amount of rock actually. And then I'll get past here and then it gets all soft, so. But we are getting a little closer to the pole. I think I'm gonna have to try and dig from both sides. There we go. Break it up. Some of it. Perfect example why you call 1-800 dig. So they came out, they painted it, they flagged it for me. Wasn't as deep as I was thinking, and I thought there was screenings over it, but there isn't. Alright, so we got it all dug out now. It's almost midnight, so I'm gonna call it quits. Got all this exposed. To be honest, I'm probably gonna dig this last little bit, just because this is gonna have to get cut around here for the new base, and then those lines tied into the transformer. Had a good amount of rock I had to dig out and hand shovel. Another night. So I'm starting to get some screenings in now. I've got everything all dug out over to the pole here. And I got things down deep enough where I need to be. This gets about 11 inches of screening material for the pad. It's really big, a lot bigger than what I needed actually, because I wanted to get all of this, so.
It's a lot easier with a 2-foot bucket getting all that material out. So now this area I only need 3 inches of screening, but in a couple of the areas where the rock is, so I have to add a little bit more screenings. After power lines go in, I will have to do 12 inches of screenings. But I'm going to set my elevation now with my stick. Just going to get things set up on what I'm going to feel is going to be the finished grade. I'm actually going to raise the grade up in this area, so I'm going to just check it out, see how high I want my pad, so that way I can get my sub elevation set up. Works pretty well, the mini excavator, because I got some reach here, as you can see. But using this, I'm pretty darn close right now. Here and there, a little low. Like this is pretty freaking spot on there. So it's about 11 inches, like I said, of screening. So we're gonna get this area filled out. I'm doing 10 foot wide, 10 foot deep, plus a little bit more going into that trench. Might not look like much right now, but get all the screenings down. This thing is nice and raked and leveled using laser. I mean, this thing is like right there. You're gonna like it. So let it settle a little bit. It's gonna rain. I'm gonna get a little bit more screenings down this trench and then call it quits for the night. We're gonna take our TPO pad, and technically it's all the way out here. Stick that in for now. Check that area. In the daylight, it's still dark right now. We got some daylight here, so you can see we got everything padded out. This is bigger than the 10 by 10 requirement. The height is right. I figure I basically got 2 inches of pitch up to my pad area. So they gave me a little chart for the whole base height I need. It was, I think it was 28 inches from subgrade to my finished grade, and then it's still up a little higher, but I had to dig down 39 inches and put about 11 inches of top or screenings. So now I'm just finishing raking things out through here. I got some more screenings in the trench, so I'm going to start pushing this thing out, just raking it by hand, and we'll see how it looks. This was a little bit more work than I had expected. We hit a lot of rock. Had to get the bigger machine. The depth was the biggest thing, 42 inches. Doesn't seem like much, but digging down, that is a good amount. So we got a good amount of material. There's a big pile back over there too for the pad area. I got more from the pad area. And this is all from the trench, which I need some fill. So after I get this thing screened and backfilled, I'm sure I'm gonna have some left over. So we'll put it over by the house. All right, we are fully done. The only thing that really sucks is it's about to have a nor'easter. So we'll see how it is. Hopefully nothing caves in from the weather. It's just the power company gave me a week, or the time frame, and they said the 13th, the week of the 13th. So that's the biggest thing, just get all ready for them. So that's tomorrow. I just emailed over pictures, so that is the first step. Then basically they're gonna come in, put their fiberglass base in here. Their high voltage lines are gonna tie up into this section here. This here, I emailed them about like who's gonna be cutting this, and the other one's my communication. So I actually wanna kinda have the communication over there potentially. But pad transfer here, transformer here. So we're gonna backfill with screenings after the power lines, and then basically we have to get our communication guys in. So I got a phone call into them, they already know. He's already been out on site. So after that's prepped, basically I have to call them and let them know it's ready for communication. Then they'll come out and get their stuff. Once I know the actual install date from PPL, I'm still gonna call the communication guy to let him know. So that way he's just aware. And then after that, I'm also gonna put some conduits in for gates and just power down the end of the driveway. Leaves in there, but we got our high volt line. We got the ground rod today. We got their pad transformer in. So it won't energize anything until I get it backfilled. I've got work all day just getting back now. So I'm gonna get screenings on this 12 inches, leave this kind of open, get this corrugated pipe stubbed out for future house spot. And then I will give them a shout. They got their ground wire looped around. They probably got a ground in here somewhere. Got my elevations right. It's pretty smooth. But then they'll be back later on to cut this, tie that in, and then remove our pole and all the power lines. So with this next step, I gotta do 12 inches of screening. Since I'm working by myself, I'm just marking up 12 inches with some paint real quick. That way I can kind of circle back. So I'll get some marks down here. Grab the skid steer, start grabbing screenings, work my way from the pole back this way. Just got my paint mark down there, so it'll help me out, at least as a reference. So they have things stubbed up. It looks like they already tied in the high volt. So they got that new switch right there, which they told me they were getting things tested. Make sure it's good before they energize the main service. To be honest, it looks like the switch on, so don't really know. I'm assuming that, I don't know, it might be on, it might not. So
We're gonna treat this like a hot line for now, which it might not be. They did something, they're gonna keep it de-energized. Looks like they put a new ground rod in as well. So, and then once these things are terminated, these lines here will go. This pole will stay, this will stay out to the street. And then we won't have aerial lines anymore. Today I actually had my cable company out. Now that this was screened, they put their direct burial cable line in. Looks like they got it tied up over here for where the pedestal is going to be. They still didn't disconnect, I guess, the aerial line yet up here. My screened area. But I see they just got to coil it up down by the pole for now. So I'm going to follow up with them, see why they didn't tie it in yet. But in the meantime, I picked up a bunch of conduit. So I'm going to be putting kind of down here 2 lines. I got 1-inch conduit. I was going to do 2-inch, but the price of conduit is crazy right now. So I did get a discount, at least at Lowe's Pro Count. But we're going to get these conduits glued up all the way down here on the side first. And then we'll drop it in and they'll do an elbow up. And run it over here. This will get a little interesting, but we'll elbow up over here. Don't really know if I brought enough elbows, to be honest, but I'll make it work. At least we'll get our conduits over to here for now. If I got to buy some more elbows, it is what it is. But after that, I'm going to backfill all this, screen this one more time, a couple inches of screenings. Then we'll backfill. We'll probably have some excess dirt that I can still use over in the house. Normally in the houses I build, I do a 2-inch conduit down the driveways, but we're on a budget here. Still use 1-inch, still work for what I need with that distance. All this material here with a discount is a little over $400, so let's just call it $450 between conduits, elbows, glue, caps, pull string. But we're going to be running 2 conduits, 1 for power, 1 for communication, in case I ever want to add any communication stuff like a gate and stuff like that down there. Even after everything's in, I still got to run conduit from over in that area down the edge of the driveway. We're going to have to cut across the driveway. We're going to pick up our well, which you can kind of see right there. And we go right over the house pad area right over here. So I haven't actually wheeled it out yet. I would guess a little over 100 and some feet. That will still need some more conduit. We're going to have to do electrical conduit as well. A 3-inch minimum for our electric for the house. So we still got some work to do, but we're making big progress. This was not in my original budget, so it's all out of pocket costs. So we'll probably be close to $5,000 basically, with costs between transformer pad, screening material, conduits, fuel. It adds up quick. right, so we got all this glued up for one section. Gonna try and give it a little whip and let it drop in. Let's see if I can get it. Nope. We'll get this side started and we'll work our way down and get this conduit in. Then I gotta get another section all glued up, and then we can get things screened. Pretty much all back screen now. Over here, I just got things set up and get our conduit stubbed up, elbows over there. I just put the Coreflex in. Out of breath right now, but we've got our pipe over here. This will stick out of the ground. We'll tie into here later for our electric. That way I'm still far enough when I dig this up. And that's tied into there. So I'm gonna get like from here backfilled and here this way and all the way, but I still need to leave basically from here all open so that way they can tie in this power into the transformer.
backfilling here. I'm going to get this whole side all backfilled now. Rake this screening material out by hand. And then we'll get some more dirt in. But like I said, from here over, I got to keep that open for the power company. So at least I can let them know. I guess I'll try and get some material behind there as well. I could probably get some over there on the other side. Maybe we'll use the Mini. Power company back, so they now have that cut, and they've got our existing power now tied into the transformer. So got complex there. Get this thing back, post some screenings. They were going to take down these area lines today, but there is a lot of wind, and they already got some emergency calls today. But at least the hard part is get this filled. Got everything all cleaned up. So I'm just gonna let this settle before I get things topped. So plus let them get the pole pulled out so I can get that hole filled. And later on we'll have to connect to here for the house. So that's a wrap for this project. We no longer have a pole or power line, so we're all fully energized underground. But it did take some time, I'd say about a month and a half. Got a good amount of stuff started in the beginning, then was kind of waiting for the power company to do their thing, get rescheduled. So now all that is wrapped up. That is a wrap for this project and this video. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.